Today, I had the great privilege of attending an RBC luncheon with our local RBC reps. In addition, they brought in some of their national colleagues as well, and we had a great discussion about mortgage rates, economic forecasting, and what's to come in Canada over the next year. So if you saw the previous slides that I shared with you, there's a lot of details in there, a lot of data, which, you know me, I love my stats and I love looking at trends. But what people really want to know is what is going to happen moving forward. And that is kind of impossible for everybody to predict. But it looks like the most likely scenario, what is going to happen, is that we're either into right now or we're going to be heading into a bit of a recession. Hopefully it's not going to be too drastic or too long-lived. But sort of the good side of that is that it could tame the housing market somewhat. You know, what we've seen over the last 2 years is home prices increased dramatically here locally. And as well, just over the last 12 months, we saw the affordability decrease drastically with the increase in interest rates. Now, those interest rate increases have had the benefit of taming inflation. So that's helped Canada's economy somewhat, but it's also, we know it's hurt mortgage affordability for a lot of our home buyers. So in a perfect world, what we're gonna see in the next 12 months is slight decreases in those interest rates, and that should help increase affordability, but we're hoping that it's not going to be anything too drastic, right? If we do see a huge drop in those interest rates, what's going to happen, and what we saw during the pandemic, was that there was a huge rush for people to buy homes. There were people coming into the home buying process and putting very, very high bids on properties, and that drove up the price of properties, and it made it more difficult for home buyers to actually purchase properties. So what we're hoping for as realtors and helping our home buyers and our home sellers as well is for a slight decrease in interest rates over the next 12 months. It's probably going to be slower. The forecasting is saying more like June and onwards that we'll see the Bank of Canada start to decrease those rates. So that's a little bit of my takeaway from today's lunch, and I want to thank RBC for inviting us to it. It was awesome.